Good day everyone, I'm Cousin Cesar and this is a continuation of our report that talks about Vygotsky's social-cultural perspective on learning and language. So there are three main concepts of social-cultural theory. So the first one is the private speech. This is the form of self-talk that guides a child's thinking and actions. It is seen when a young children talk aloud to themselves. So ito yung way nila para mag-guide yung sarili nila dun sa ginagawa nila. So para hindi sila ma-distract. They talk out loud in attempt to guide their own behavior. They may speak about what they are doing as they do it. So for example, young preschool children frequently talk out loud to themselves as they play and explore the environment. So as I said earlier, this is their way to guide themselves on what they are doing as they do it. So ito yung parang nila para hindi sila ma-distract, para focus lang sila dun sa ginagawa nila. Another example is that a private speech in the classroom. So as you can see in the picture, the children are using private speech to direct themselves away from the distractions in their environment and toward the activity that a teacher told the child to do. Thus, private speech helps children to be less strongly influenced by their immediate environment and instead to control their behavior. So number 2, zone of proximal development. It is referred to the difference between what the child accomplishes alone and what he or she can accomplish with guidance of another. It is between kung ano ang kayang gawin ng isang bata without the help of others compared sa kung anong kaya pa niyang gawin with the support and assistance of others. Also here in the zone of proximal development, the learner is close and developing the new skill or knowledge, but they needed assistance and encouragement. So for example, a 5-year-old child knows how to ride a tricycle but cannot ride a bicycle with 2 wheels unless his grandfathers hold into the back of her bike. This child is in the zone of proximal development for riding bicycle. With her grandfather's help, this little girl learns to balance her bike. After some practicing, she can ride the bike on her own. So particularly getting instructions from someone are of immense importance of the cognitive development in early childhood. So as children are given instructions or shown how to perform certain tasks, they organize the new information received in their existing mental schemas. They use these informations as guides on how to perform these tasks and eventually learn to perform them independently. So in this proximal development, the learner is close in developing the new skill or knowledge, but they needed assistance or encouragement. Zone of actual development. It is refers in which a child may perform at a certain level of competency and she or he may not immediately be proficient at it. So it is where the learners is right now. Ito yung stage na kung saan kung ano pa lang yung kaya nilang gawin, kung ano sila ngayon, kung ano yung mga develop nila in their own, na walang tulong ng iba or assistance ng iba. Number 3, scaffolding. It refers to the support or assistance that lets the child accomplish a task he or she cannot accomplish independently. So scaffolding is closely related to the concept of the zone of proximal development. It is a temporary support given to a child by a more knowledgeable other that enables the child to perform a task until such time that the child can perform this task independently. For example, if students are not at the reading level required to understand a text being taught in a course, the teacher might use instructional scaffolding to incrementally improve their reading ability until they can read the required text independently and without assistance. So to illustrate Vygotski's concept of scaffolding, we're gonna using again the example in the zone of proximal development. The 5-year-old learning to ride a bike. So the little girl's grandfather, or what we call the more knowledgeable others, may begin by holding into the back of her bike the whole time that she is on the bike. So as the little girl gains more experience, her grandfather may release his hold intermittently. So eventually, the girl's grandfather only grabs the bike when he needs to correct her balance. So when the girl finally masters the skill, her grandfather no longer needs to hold onto the bike anymore and the scaffoldings can be removed. So yes, nandito na tayo sa point na i-assist natin yung bata but not for the whole time. So as the child gains more familiarity with the task and become more skilled at it, the more knowledgeable others or yung nag-guide may then provide less guidance na lang. Kumbaga parang alalay na lang ko kinakailangan. In conclusion, Vygotsky's social-cultural theory explains that learning occurs during social interactions between individuals. For example, when we interact with other people, it is all shape our own development and understanding, like in their cultures, beliefs, and attitudes which they live in. As we know, human learning is largely a social process, and this theory by Vygotsky gives a better explanations on child's development. The development of child is not only based on the people surrounding himself or herself, but it's also based on cultural belief in the society he or she lives in.